Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So I'm your teacher, Jasmine, and today we are gonna tackle all about the Asian civilization. So, under the Asian civilization, we have first the Chinese civilization. And of course, under the Chinese civilization, we have so many dynasties. So, what are these dynasties? So, the first dynasty, we have the Shah dynasty. So Shah dynasty, um, legends claim that the earliest rulers in China were the Shah dynasty. So Shah dynasty has their first emperor, Emperor Yu, and it is stretched back 210 2110 BC up to 1600 BC. But again, guys, but there is a little proof that this dynasty actually existed. So there is no evidence that this existed, but some again legends still believe that this existed. So historians are right about it. So the next dynasty, we have the Shang dynasty. Can somebody read this? Okay. Yes, Chelsea.
Shang Dynasty, the earliest ruling dynasty of China to be established in recorded history. The Shang was headed by a tribal chief named Tang.
Oh, that's right. So, the Shang dynasty is marked by intellectual advances in astronomy and math. So, basically, this says that Shang dynasty is very fond of the astronomy and mathematics. And Shang dynasty started at around 1600 BC and lasted at 1050 BC. Next, we have the Confucius. So, Confucius is a well-known teacher, politician, and a philosopher, and was raised in poverty by his mother. So, Confucius entered the politics and became town governor. And but he lived in exile and escaped political enemies. And Confucius is the first one to engage in Confucianism beliefs because he is the one who like invented it, like the first one to propose the idea about it. Uh, the next dynasty we have is the Qin dynasty. Please read, Romilin.
The Qing, dy- the Qing dynasty, from which China derives its name, Qin is pronounced Qin, was the first official empire in its history.
Okay, thank you for reading. So the kings standardized regional written scripts into single national one, and they established the Imperial Academy, and they oversee translated text. So, fun fact about Qin Dynasty: Qin Dynasty created the first Asian superhighway. It is a 500-mile straight road around Ziwu mountain range. Okay, let's proceed. The next one we have the Han Dynasty. So the Han Dynasty started back in 6 BC and lasted 220 AD. And this was the second imperial dynasty of China. So Han Dynasty is the first to open the Silk Road trade to Europe. The next one, we have the Tang Dynasty. Okay, please read, Marcus, and give us some insights about it.
Tang Dynasty. The Tang Dynasty is considered a golden age of Chinese arts and culture.
Okay, thank you for reading. So Tang Dynasty started in 618 AD and lasted up to 906 AD. So Tang Dynasty is called the Golden Age of Chinese arts and culture. Why? Because Tang Dynasty is the first one to commercialize books. They have children's book, test guides, and the well-known calendars and some charm manuals. So actually, they are famous for their literature and well-known private printing book. And then The last dynasty of China is the Ming Dynasty. So the Ming Dynasty started in 1368 AD and stretched until 1644 AD. So the Ming Dynasty ruled China, and during which the China's population would double. So let us be known na dumami yung population ng China during the Ming Dynasty. Why? Kasi ang ang Ming Dynasty rather is lumabas na sa kanilang mga border and started to communicate and connect to the people around their country. So that's why dumoble yung population nila. So natuto na sila parang makihalo-bilo. So basically yung culture ties between different countries during the Ming Dynasty heightened. So now, let's move on to the innovations and technology during the Chinese civilization. So, of course, Chinese civilization is the famously known to create the paper and the famous movable type printing. And then they have, of course, the gunpowder, which is until now we use it, and the compass, which help us to navigate directions in our travels. And then the silk, which defines the riches in Chinese civilization, and the first seismograph invented in China. And then also they have the famous art, the porcelain, the jade cups, and the famous bronze Buddha, and the portraits, and the important writing during their time. Okay, so lastly, let's move on to the India civilization. Okay, so guys, India is the oldest civilization in the world with a kaleidoscopic variety and rich cultural heritage. Okay, India is well known for a beautiful mountain, the Great Himalayas, the sea, of course, the Indian Ocean between the Bay of Bengal, and then, of course, the water trademarks like Nile River, Yellow River, the Tigris, and the Euphrates. Okay, so let's move on. So the India during the pre-colonial time is well known to live in a village and rural place, and of course their main source of income is the farming and to hunter and gather meat to consume. Okay, so under the India, we have the Harappan civilization. So Harappan civilization is well known to create their own writing symbols, also known as the Indus script. Okay, so can somebody read this? Yes, Chelsea.
Vedic Age. The Vedic civilization is the earliest civilization in the history of ancient India. It is named after the Vedas, the early literature of the Hindu people.
Okay, thank you for reading, Chelsea. So, Vedic civilization flourished along the river of Saraswati, and during the Vedic age, we have the Ramayana and Mahabharata, and they were the two great epics of this period. So, next one, we have the Aryans. Can somebody please? Yes, Romilin?
The Aryans. The English word Aryan comes from the Sanskrit word Arya, which is the self-designation used by the Vedic Indic people who migrated into the Indian subcontinent around 1500 BCE.
Okay, thank you for reading. Okay, so under the Indian civilization, we have the Vedic people and the Aryans people. So these two are the well-known first ever civilization in India. So now let's proceed to Hinduism. Okay, so please read, Marcus.
Hinduism is the third largest religion between Christianity and Islam.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so fun fact, guys. Roughly 95% of the world's Hindus live in India. and their religion has no specific founder, and it's difficult to trace the origin and history kasi this is well known throughout their history. So parang sa sobrang dami ng mga Hindus, it is really hard to navigate the first ever na nagpakalat ng ano na to, ng Hinduism beliefs. So next one we have, okay, so just to add to that, the swastika is a well-known word in India, and it is equal to the word good fortune and being happy, and also it represents a good luck. So when you ask Indian in their country, of course everybody know the swastika word. So after the Hinduism we have Buddhism. Okay, please read, Jin.
Buddhism. Buddhism is a faith that was founded by Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, more than 2,500 years ago in India.
Okay, thank you for reading. Yes, that's right. Very good. So, Buddhism was one of the major world religions, and many Buddhist ideas and philosophies overlap with those of other faiths. So, followers of Buddhism don't acknowledge a supreme God or deity. So, take note to this, guys, ha. They focus on achieving enlightenment. So, pag nagpa-quiz ako, when we say enlightenment, matik, Buddhism na to, guys. Okay, so now let's proceed to Jainism. Okay, so please read, Chelsea.
Jainism. Jainism was born in India in about the same period as Buddhism. It was established by Mahavira around 599 to 527 BC, in about 500 BC.
Okay, thank you for reading. So guys, Jainism was founded by Jainism was born in India, of course, same time as the Buddhism, and he was born near Patna, and it is now believed the Bihar state. And of course, when we say Jainism is derived from the word Jina, meaning big winner. Okay, so under the Jainism, we have two Jain philosophies, Shivatambar and Digamtar. So these two are the main Jain philosophies again. So, okay, so lastly, Romilin, can you please read this?
First Indian Empire. In the wake of the death of Alexander the Great in 323 BCE, Chandragupta or Chandragupta Maurya, founder of the Mauryan dynasty, conquered the Punjab region from the southeastern edges of Alexander's former empire.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Romilin. So, under the Indian civilization, we have here the first Indian Empire. So, the first Indian Empire was first founded by Chandragupta, and he conquered the Punjab region after the Alexander's fall, which is the death of him. That's why the Punjab was conquered by the famously known Mauryan dynasty founder Chandragupta. Okay, class, thank you for listening. Is there any questions?
None, ma'am.
None po,
Okay, thank you
ma'am.
for listening. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you po,
Thank you
ma'am.
po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Bye. Thank you.